Have you ever wondered what separates a soldier on the battlefield from a civilian, and why that distinction is so critically important? It is a question at the very heart of the laws of armed conflict, designed to protect innocent lives. Under the laws of war, specifically international humanitarian law, only combatants have the right to participate directly in hostilities. For these individuals to benefit from combatant immunity and prisoner of war status upon capture, they generally must distinguish themselves from the civilian population by openly carrying their arms during military operations. This clear identification helps protect civilians and ensures fair treatment for those who fight. The core reason behind this requirement is the fundamental principle of distinction. This principle mandates that parties to a conflict must at all times distinguish between civilians and combatants, and between civilian objects and military objectives. By openly carrying weapons, combatants signal their status and hostile intent, allowing opposing forces to identify them as legitimate targets. This differentiation is absolutely vital because civilians must never be the object of attack, and combatants are explicitly allowed to engage in fighting. Without this visual distinction, the line between who can and cannot be targeted becomes dangerously blurred, jeopardizing civilian protection. This requirement means that a combatant, whether part of regular armed forces or an organized militia, cannot simply blend in with the civilian population while engaged in combat or preparing for an attack. When they are taking part in military actions, their weapon must be visible. This is how the system provides a measure of predictability and minimizes harm to non-combatants. It is not about making fighting easier, but about making warfare less indiscriminate and more humane. A key aspect of this rule is the concept of a lawful combatant. A lawful combatant is someone who meets certain criteria, including being commanded by a person responsible for their subordinates, having a fixed distinctive emblem recognizable at a distance, carrying arms openly, and conducting their operations in accordance with the laws and customs of war. The carrying arms openly criterion is especially critical for groups that are not regular armed forces, such as organized resistance movements. While an individual may temporarily conceal a weapon for tactical reasons, they must visibly carry it during any engagement or preparatory action related to an attack. Ultimately, the open display of weapons by combatants serves as a cornerstone of international humanitarian law. It is a practical measure that underpins the principle of distinction, providing clarity on the battlefield. This clarity directly contributes to protecting civilians from harm, while also ensuring that those who legitimately engage in hostilities are accorded the proper status and protections if captured, fostering adherence to the wider rules of armed conflict for everyone involved.